Yes, I'm Hervé VERLOES. I'm the founder of Poolpio, a 3D studio doing pretty much everything with the real-time game engine. So we've been busy with XR for the last more than 10 years now. I think we might be one of the oldest company providing XR content in Belgium and still running. We went through a long history and hiccups about this technology. So we started doing VR video, like 360 degrees video. I think like many of the people who started with XR at that time. Basically, I have a journalism background, I have a video background, and this is the video that brought me to VR. And we fell in love with VR because it was such an immersive new platform for us to express our story, to tell to show immersive content. And for more than 10 years, and we're still busy with it, we are using VR goggles for our content. So we started only with YouTube 360 degrees videos. It was in 2015 when YouTube opened it for the public. And then we started to learn how to do that. We played with images, stitching. It was a freaking nightmare, to be honest. We were using GoPros, that was that time. And then slowly but surely, we started to use more efficient, more professional equipment, like 360-degree systems. They were not perfect, but they were already making our life way easier to provide content in a more cost-effective way, let's call it like that. At the same time, because we're coming from broadcast and television, we also have quite high standards for videos, so we wanted to improve the quality of what we were doing. So we also use rigs of more expensive cameras, more cinematic cameras, cinema cameras. But to be honest, it was not really cost effective. But we managed to to earn our living with that, and all our clients, partners, they loved our stories, our project, but they wanted to start to touch. So they saw our picture. The picture were nice. It was fully immersive, but they wanted it to be more interactive. So we had to learn. We had to find a tool to make our videos interactive, and the only tool available was the real-time game engine. At that time, we had no idea how it was working, so we had to pick one. You have two main ones on the market and a few others, but it was either Unity. You might have heard that a lot of projects for VR goggles are made on Unity because it's way. No, I know it. In the past, I didn't know. It's way easier, or there are more programmers to work on Unity, on the Unity platform for that kind of project, because you also know VR goggles are basically a mobile phone in front of two lenses. So it's mobile programming, basically. But at that time, we were not so clever, and we decided to go for Epic Games, and we go because we found it was cooler, nicer, more beautiful. And we started to learn Unreal, and we sweat a lot because it was not the tool to do that kind of thing at that time. But fortunately, thanks to Fortnite and the $1 billion made by Fortnite, Epic Games started to improve the game engine in such a dramatic speed that in less than 2 years, the game engine was kind of ready to work on VR content and much more. So it's at that time that we decided to also, because of the market was complicated, the VR world, and then it became XR world or MR world, was not picking up. It's still not really a big market for cultural content or for content, at least. So not many people, the penetration rate of VR goggles all over the planet is really, really small. So we wanted to continue doing immersive content, but outside the goggles. Because, and then we also we were hit by the COVID. And COVID people don't want to put goggles on their face, and they still don't want to put that. And all the new systems, they're still heavy, they're not really nice to use. And one of the main problems of VR and now XR with goggles is that it's immersive, but you're alone in the experience. So we ended up by developing a different project to go into the world of immersive exhibitions, immersive content for live events, but we kept on using the same techniques, the same methodology, and we realized that actually now the real-time game engine is capable of doing so many other things except video games. So you might have seen, thanks to the series Mandalorian, that now we use the game engine to broadcast or to display real-time images on massive LED screens for the cinema industry. This is called virtual production. So we started to do that. And we are today the only and the main virtual production studio in Belgium, working for the cinema industry. It has another name. It's not Poolpio. It's called Magic Loom, but just my personal marketing. But behind that, behind all those different platforms, all those different contents, it's always the real-time game engine and creation of design that are more everyday, more photorealistic, more they have more quality, and they are getting more and more. You can compare them more and more with actual rendered 3D content. Not for everything, I'm not saying that, not yet. But now you have movies that are shot and rendered, so the VFX of some movies are shot and rendered with the real-time game engine. You have, in virtual production, the usage of the game engine. And slowly but surely, we end up to the topic of today, is that other industries started to use those contents, and this is the one we don't see much of what's on the screen. We started to use also the game engine for live events, concerts, video mapping, and all together, one way or another. So here I come because we started to do that too. It seems like we're doing quite a lot of things, but it's actually always the same kind of content. We put the game engine to the service of the client, to the story, and to the project that we are working with. So 4 years ago, we started. No more than that. Sorry, it was a long time ago already. We started thanks to VR. We got in touch with a project with. A project that was run by a French company, a Canadian company, and us. We co-produced it, and we created a huge 360-degree XR project that ran over many years, actually. The first part was a documentary made by Arte with the EDM artist Molecule. Perhaps some of you know it. It's an electro artist. And he went to the big north, like the great north in Greenland, to record the sound of the ice that was melting to show climate change. And he made an album with it. It was like 45 minutes electronic music album. And they did Arte, so the French-German broadcaster did a documentary about the process of making this album. That was the first part of the project. Then a couple of years later, when the album was out, we did with a French company, they are represented here too, with Zolba. We participated to this project, but they did a VR project, interactive VR project, with combining 360-degree videos and interactivity. about the same story, using images from the documentary, but also making it more gamified for VR. And the last part was really the one we focused on. That's the one I'm showing to you today. It's Molecule. It's the album is called minus 22.7 degrees. Now, it's quite, the album is quite old now, but a few years ago we created a full dome experience, and we did 45 minutes of 3D content, video mapped on the dome with interactivity and real-time content. So here, that was after the release. We were the first one doing this concert with Molecule in Dubai during in the framework of the Universal exhibition. I can't remember the year. When was it again? In 2020, when there was this concert, and it was in this dome. This is the biggest dome in the world in video projection. Of course, you have the Sphere in Las Vegas, but that's coming. And at that time, it was the biggest one, and we had this really long projection with live music, and tools from the musician were connected to with different protocols through the game engine, and also to several game engines, actually, not only one. And the music was audio sensitive, and there were some tools that he could show. Oops, sorry. There were some tools that were used to change the visual based on what he was actually doing live. Okay, this is something you might not know, but it was not happening before. This is really thanks to the real-time game engine that we are now capable of doing that, because before, all video mapping for concerts, for live events, for even for immersive exhibitions, most of them were pre-rendered. It was a very nice, good-looking video, but it was just a video. Now we are capable of, thanks to the power of those game engines, we are capable of going further and make the whole experience way more immersive, way more interactive. So there you go. A show like that now, thanks to those tools, you can really connect everything with everything. You can also use other tools coming from the 3D world, coming from the animation world. All those industries are gathering or merging slowly but surely. And a show now could also be real-time tracked thanks to the tools of the motion capture. If I say something that someone doesn't understand, just shout out. So those tools allow us to track any tools, any person, any props from on stage or off stage, and to make them have a live virtually on different type of screens. So basically now a stage, it's a 3D world where we play content that are visible to the public in different ways. So a concept like that, yeah, that's just for after that. A concept like that, you could, in that case, we didn't do it, it was a bit early, but you could also have content that are visible from the public in the room, but also content that are virtual. This is called mixed reality, where those contents are behaving and connected to the artist or the protagonist, but they only can be seen on TV, for instance, when those shows are broadcasted live on a channel. What's the technology behind? You all have seen the weather forecast systems, so it's exactly the same. We used nowadays weather forecasts are done also with the game engine behind. So all visuals are powered by a game engine. And this is thanks to that you can see the anchor moving, changing stuff in real time, because it's actually doing it manually, and it reacts in real time. So we can connect all that for those experiences. So there is another case a more modern one, but it's the same now. The industry is going full on in that direction, using the real-time tools. And you have this case of the Sphere. You might have seen it. It's a massive dome, or a huge cinema place made of LED screens inside and LED screens outside. It's a very good, nice marketing tool to show it's next to the Formula One tracks and in the middle of Las Vegas. So you can see it. They can broadcast a lot of content that will be happening inside this premise. Inside, it's like 16-time movie theater on the big screen. You just go online and see how it is. But our colleagues from Prismax, it's a big company that is connected to Tomorrowland, has been doing real-time content for the EDM artists that they were following at that time, which is also part of the Tomorrowland network. It was Unity. And they had this show. So I just don't know if I can launch a video here. There you go. And another company who does the same thing at the same place is a Canadian from Mom and Factory. You must know them. It's a huge company in Canada.
This is
and
the biggest screen on
they are
Earth.
the one who've been
We're
doing
talking about
that.
16K massive screen to create 4 shows with different visuals, 4 hours at a time in a show. From the very beginning of this project, we knew we needed to use Unreal Engine. Moen Factory is a multimedia entertainment studio. Basically, the tagline is, we do it in public, so wherever there's an audience, we're gonna be there.
Fish came to us with this project to play music in the Sphere, and with Fish, you have a band that likes to jam and never really kind of repeating themselves twice. Our challenge was, how do we follow along with them?
We started to render different visuals for the shows, and we realized very quickly that those were super heavy, but like way above anything we had seen. I learned the term petabyte.
We had 3 months, render it, do QC, and then transfer them to on-site. So the issues that come up there is you might have only one chance to make a render happen. With Unreal Engine, we're able to make decisions on-site and edit and change that. We were looking for a partner to help us develop the Unreal portion of this show and came across Myries.
One of the main challenges with each and every scene is that you need to make them living and breathing. You cannot have just a static thing that repeats and repeats. You need to build storytelling into it.
What we essentially are doing is we're creating a game for the graphics operator, and the goal of the game is to jam along with the band.
The Sphere being that huge, Myries knew that they would have to optimize their scene a lot, and so they worked then.
So it's a quick extract of the presentation they've done. So here you can see that all those industries are gathering, merging at the same place. And behind there is a lot of tools, but they all inspire from the XR industry. Talking about the cinema industry or the live events, all the content that, all those techniques, all this methodology is actually coming from VR. So doing that project now is just historically just happening now because we had to go through all the problems of VR to understand how to project content on a sphere, how to deal with interactive content for the game engine in a virtual world, and how to tell stories in a virtual world with that kind of tools. Now, the goggles is just a display. We just changed the display, okay? But the methodology is the same. The tools are the same. They're just more powerful, more advanced, and we added from all the different other industries, we added some plugins, add-ons, to make them possible. So just to give you roughly for the live event, now you have, if you look at the pipeline, The creation would be pretty much the same as creating a content for a VR experience or an AR experience, if you prefer. You might have seen what Gorillaz has done for Coachella, where they had some AR content of the characters from Gorillaz flying or standing on top of the stage of Coachella. All that is run through those systems, through those equipment, to those techniques. So basically, you create the content through real-time 3D. So what do you need for that? You need real-time tech artists, people who where are those guys capable of using the game engine? They're in the video game industry. So you make people from the video game industry coming into the cinema world or the live stage world, which are complete different worlds, and it's not easy to make them talk to each other. That's what we've been doing for the last 10 years, make understand art director with a C++ programmer. You know, that some of you might understand the struggle that we can have there. And then the pipeline starts. Once you can use that and you understand the bottlenecks and the difficulties, then you create your project. Then you use the game engine the best way you can. You connect it to media servers behind. That's what you have here. In that case, it's famous video mapping and virtual production tool called these guys. There are many others on the market. You could have Zero Density, you have Pexera, you have different brands doing the same things. This one is standard in the industry. And then this server will have to broadcast on any type of screen or video projector, beamer, whatever, okay? That's always the same thing. This is the project done by the Belgians for the Tomorrowland event. And you see that we have to create content to make them work, actually, because the same way it was with VR, where it was not supposed to be the tool to create VR experiences, now a game engine was not supposed to be the tool to create live events. It's not completely done for that. So programmers and artists have to work together hand in hand to create tools that are workable. And that's what our colleagues from Prismax done really nicely during this at the Sphere. So they connected to the game engine, to their real-time content, tools to control live in VJing, you know, like a VJ. So basically, you have now a tech artist who is most probably coming from the video game industry, operating live a video game on 18K or 20K video projection, live. So that's kind of crazy. And all this happened in less than 2 years. So our industry, in the live event industry, all those tools, they were not used 4 years ago, and now we are doing live shows at the Sphere or in any concert premises. Just to show you how it goes. And the world of DJing from the EDM world, it's live, it's everything. So if your visual is just a pre-rendered content that is showing, people notice it, people feel it, and they don't feel involved. When they realize that it's really, you know, a DJ will play every time differently. The beat is always different. He feels the room, he reads the room and realizes what people like. So if he starts changing the rhythm or the beat in the middle of the concert, your visual better be real time. Otherwise, you will have a discrepancy between the content and the direction of the DJ, for instance. So here, that's what they've done. They just used the tool the best way they could, and they connect it to DMX, to OSC, for the people who are using that. All tools that are already existing on machines from the live events, and they use those protocols to talk to the game engine and to provide those content the best way possible. Behind, you have all types of concerts. You don't have to be at the Sphere to do that, obviously. All concerts, from Coldplay to Adele to whatever, they all have video content that is now played in real time, live. When it's video, you have them live, but you also have motion graphics that are coming in real time. All that through the game engine. Obviously, I'm not paid by Epic Games, and they are not the only one. So you have Unity, but unfortunately, Unity is a bit staying behind on those contents. They are focusing on more industrial and mobile applications. They are really good in so many other things, but when you talk visual, for the moment, I can say that Unreal Engine now is on the forefront. But you have others coming up, so I would suggest to look at other real-time game engine like Touch Designer. It's a Canadian company, and they were also initially a game engine platform-ish based on Python. And they move into the video mapping industry, and now they manage to connect their platform to all type of interactive content. So we use them for immersive experiences. Everything you can see here could be somehow done or helped by Touch Designer too. So I will just show you what can be done in the same way, but it's another tool. Touch Designer is also coming more from the open source world and more from the music world. Less the image world, but more the music world. So they have a lot of really powerful synchronizing tools, real-time tools. And now, finally, and it's the next big thing, or it's the thing of today, it's on top of all those real-time content for both game engine, you would add also AI content. So Touch Designer, Unreal, they can also connect to comfy UI platforms. They can connect to some LLMs for creating a stable diffusion content. And this can be also broadcasted live. So now you have the first show that are also, the content are created through AI. Like any other videos that you can see online. 2 minutes? Okay. So that's just to give you a more poetic, artistic way. This is Touch Designer behind, but it's mainly the vision of an artist. And again, it's for concept of it gives you to also everything that has a pixel becomes a screen. So now we can use also the real-time content or any content, video content on tools like volumetric screens, transparent screens, mechanical screens. Everything with only one pixel becomes part of the show. And then the last one, just to give you.
Skyscrapers, memories of you, falling in my head, falling in my head.
can't see it, but it's a huge disco, and all the screens are flying over the gallery disco. Voila. Thank you.
Hervé, thank you very much for these insights into your work. Really interesting. Maybe we have time for one really quick question if in the audience has one.
Hi, yeah, thank you for the talk. It was really inspiring. About you were talking with the show for Molecule about also you were tracking the artist. Are you talking full body tracking at that point? If so, what are you using exactly for that?
We use different systems. It goes from the more complex one, like real optical motion capture tools, or more like LiDAR surface play tools. You have a lot of different ones for connected walls and stuff like that, but also Kinect 2, Azure Kinect 2, that works well. But you always have problems, you know. It's when you're in the dark, when you're not in the dark, or there's too much light, not enough light. There is always problems. So usually we use redundant systems that are phase-saving the other one. That's pretty much that. But we've been using motion capture for the last 10 years, and all the tools that you can find. So it goes from, if you know Rococo, Suits, Xsense, then we went to optical because it's more precise. But they're all good, you know. Depends what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
So thank you very much. Really interesting. Please connect to Hervé throughout the day. He will be here, right? Yeah. So feel free to ask more questions to him directly.